Welcome you all for the solid waste management session. So in third module we have a concept called as landfilling. Okay, in third module we studied about the composting. What is the meaning of composting, aerobic composting, anaerobic composting, and the microbiology of that composting. So after this composting we have another theory, another concept called as a landfilling. Okay, so in this we are going to study about the definition of landfilling, what are the methods of landfilling, and to do the landfilling, how should be the site selection, and then what factors are affecting during the site selection process, and also what are the reactions occurring in the landfill. Okay, so this is all we are going to cover in this landfilling session. Okay, so first we'll see the what is this landfilling. Okay, as you know, what is a municipal solid waste, that is MSW is the waste which is producing from a public community. Okay, so whatever the waste which is producing, it contains both hazardous waste and a non-hazardous waste. So once the waste is produced, that is collected by the municipalities, and then it is transported to the different type of vehicles, and then it is going to disposed into the dump ads or landfill sites. So you all know the dump ads. Okay, that is dumping ads. Okay, dumping ads is what the definition of dumping ad. The disposal of a solid waste outskirts of the city. In outskirts of the city, the one large area will be prepared. On that large area, whatever the waste which is producing from a community is going to dump on that. Okay, that is called as a dumping ad. Okay, but landfilling is also the same thing, but the engineering technology or some of the technologies are used in a dump site. Okay, so if you prepare the dump site using some technologies, then it is called as a landfilling. Okay, for example, in dump site we are not prepare any of the site, we're just going to dump on that. But in landfilling, on the earth surface, the liners will be provided, and whatever the gas is producing from that decomposition of a solid waste, the collection of that gas is done with the help of a different vent pipes. Okay, and whatever the black liquid which is produced from a decomposition of a municipal solid waste called as a leachate, that is also collected somewhere with the help of a pipeline. Okay, so like this, some facilities are made to prevent the environmental pollution and the underground water pollution. That site is called as a landfilling. But in open dump pad, what happens, there is no facilities like gas collection, leachate collection, and also no liner will be provided for the ground surface. Okay, that is called as a simply a dump ad. But if you prepare the dump pad with the engineering technologies to prevent the underground water pollution and also environmental pollution, then it is called as a landfilling. Okay, so we'll see the exact definition of this landfilling is: landfills are material that are used to line the bottom area and below grade sites of landfills, that is landfill liners. Okay, the landfill liners are those materials which are used in landfills. So the landfill is a term used to describe physical facilities used for the disposal of a solid waste and the solid waste residuals in the surface soils of the earth. Okay, this is a physical facility which is provided on the earth surface for dumping of a solid waste. Okay, that is called as a landfilling. Okay, so in this landfilling, when you are preparing a landfill, we use a different type of engineering technology. Okay, so and we have we'll use a different type of different terms that you will get to know whenever I'll explain that terms. Okay, the one is landfill liner. Important, remember this. The landfill liners are materials that are used to line the bottom area and below grade sides of a landfill. Liners usually consist of successive layers of a compacted clay or geosynthetic material designed to prevent the migration of landfill leachate and landfill gas. Okay, once the municipal solid waste, the organic material which are going to decompose, they are going to release the methane gas and they are going to release the black color liquid called as a leachate. Okay, that after decomposition of a solid waste. For example, you see, if you keep some of the vegetables for putrefaction, that is for decomposition, after that you can see some of the black color liquid which is flowing out of that. That black color fluid is called as a leachate. So to avoid that leachate movement into the groundwater, the covering is done. That covering is made up of a geosynthetic material or a compacted clay. So those are called as the landfill liners. Okay, so they have given the leachate meaning also. See here, the liquid that forms the bottom of a landfill is called as a leachate. How it is produced? It is produced from the decomposition of a organic material. Next, the leachate contains variety of chemical constituents derived from a solubilization and the materials decomposing into landfill. So when a landfill, we use in most of the cities nowadays, they are using the landfills to prevent the environmental pollution. Environmental monitoring involves the activities associated with the connection, analysis of water and air samples used to monitor the movement of landfill gases and leachate at the landfill site. Landfill closure is the term used to describe the steps that must be taken to close, secure a landfill site. Once the filling operation has been completed, post closure care refers to the activity associated with the long-term maintenance of the completed landfill. Remediation refers to the section necessary to stop cleanup and unplanned contamination releases the environment. So landfill closure, after the materials are dumped on this open area on the surface of the liners, then it is covered with the one membranes or the plastic materials. Those are called as the landfill closures. So there are different type of landfilling methods. So what are these landfilling methods? One is called as the excavated method or trench method, area method and the canyon method. So in the figure you can see this is the what is the excavated method. The most commonly used method is called as this is excavated method. And next is this is area method and this is called as a canyon method. So or the canyon method is also called as a depression. Okay, so these are the three methods of landfilling. So we'll see what is this excavated or trench method. The trench method of landfilling is ideally suited to areas where an adequate depth of cover material is available at the site and where the water table is not near to the surface. Okay, so this method is applicable where the water table is not near to the surface, and also the sufficient amount of the covering material is available. Typically the solid waste are placed in a cells or trenches excavated in the soil. Okay, so the trenches are made like this. Okay, the square boxes will be done, the area is excavated. So in that what they will do, they will dump the waste. Okay, the solid waste are placed in a cells or a trench excavated in a soil. The soil excavated from the site is used for daily and final cover. Whenever you are excavating the earth surface, the soil will occur or the soil will come out of that soil will be kept near to that, and that is used for final covering. The excavated cells or trenches are lined with the synthetic membrane liners, low permeability clay or a combination of the two limit to the movement of the both landfill gases and the leachate. So when you dump inside the trench the solid waste after the decomposition, it should not go out of the earth surface. So to prevent that earth surface movement, what they have done, the lining is done with the help of synthetic membranes. Excavated cells are typically square up to 1000 feet in width. So width of that is 1000 feet and with a side slope of 2:1 or 3:1. Trenches vary from 200 to 1000 feet in length, 3 to 10 feet in depth and 15 to 50 feet in width. A variation of this method is called as the artesian or a zone of saturation landfill. These landfills are constructed by below the naturally occurring groundwater table surface. Drainage system controls the entry of the groundwater into the landfill cells. Is done. Both lined and unlined sites have been constructed using this method. Okay. So they'll see that if they constructed below the underground water, then the water should not enter. So like that the control system will be provided. So this is excavation or trench method. You all know there is excavation and trench method. So simply the earth surface is excavated and the solid waste is filled, and the water, while excavating, whatever the soil is produced, that is covered on a solid waste. And next, area method. The area method is used when the terrain is unsuitable for the excavation of cells. Some of the rocky terrain will be there, then we cannot excavate there. Then you can use that area method. Trenches in which to place the solid waste. High groundwater conditions such as those that occur in many parts of Florida and elsewhere necessitate the use of area type landfills. Site preparation includes installation of liner and leachate management system. Okay, in this leachate and the liner will be provided. Cover material must be hauled by in a truck and earth moving equipment from the adjacent land. Okay, covering we need a clay material. So for that just we are going to dump on the area, and the covering material will be carried with the help of truck or some other borrow pits we are going to get it. As noted, in a location with a limited material that can be used as a cover, compost produced from a yard waste and municipal solid waste, foundry sand or auto shredder plough have been used successfully in intermediate cover material. Other techniques include the use of movable temporary cover materials such as soil. Geosynthetics are also used. Soil and geosynthetic blankets placed temporarily over a completed cell can be removed before the next lift has been begun. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ. ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಜಿಯೋ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ತೊಗೊಂಬಂದು ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರಿಪ್ ಹಾಕೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಡಂಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಆ ಜಿಯೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲಿಂದ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಥರ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಫಿಲ್ ಕವರಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಏರಿಯಾ ಮೆಥಡಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಟ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಮೆಥಡಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕ್ಲೇ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಏನೂ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕೆನ್ಯಾನ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಮೆಥಡ್. What these canyons or ravines or dry barrow pits and quarries have been used for landfilling. The technique to place and compact the solid waste in canyon or depression landfills vary with the geometry of the site. The characteristics of available cover material, the hydrology and geology of the site, type of leachate, gas control facilities to be used, and the access to the site. Control of surface drainage often is a critical factor in the development of a canyon. Typically, the filling starts at the head end of the canyon and ends at the mouth, so as to prevent the accumulation of water behind the landfill. Canyon sites are filled in multiple lifts, and the method of operation is essentially the same as previously described. In canyon floor, it is reasonably flat, and the initial landfilling may be carried out using the excavated trench method discussed previously. Okay, canyon, like some depressions will be made like this. Okay, and in this the solid waste is dumped as same in the trench method. Okay, so this is what canyon or the depression method. Okay, so these are the three important methods. This is in other land types of landfills are there, that is not considered. These are the three important. Just note down, it will be asked for 10 marks. Okay, and next we will study the site selection for landfilling. What are the points to be considered when you are constructing the landfills? One of the most difficult tasks faced by public agencies and private waste management firms in implementing an integrated waste management program is the siting of new landfills. Factors that must be considered in evaluating potential sites for the long-term disposal of a solid waste include haul distance, location restrictions, available land area, site access, soil conditions and topography, climatological conditions, Surface water hydrology, geologic and hydrological condition, existing land use pattern, local environmental conditions, potential ultimate use for the completed site. Okay, we'll study one by one how these points are considered. One is a haul distance. Haul distance is a carrying distance. Okay, carrying distance without causing any problem to the public. We have to carry the solid waste from collection point to the disposal point using the transportation vehicle. So if the haul distance is less, then it is good. Okay, so if it is not within a city or the outskirts, the city is not considered haul distance. Carrying distance should be less. So from wherever the collection point you consider, that distance should be less. Okay, that is haul distance. Location restriction. So what is this location restriction? Like near to the airports or near to the railway stations, near to the bus stands, we are going to avoid this landfills because of the public. Okay, so that location should be avoided. And next we have location restrictions. Other things what we have is so the landfill and site selection is also the very important question. It is frequently asked for 10 marks. And next is available land area. The third point is available land area. So the landfilling, when you are selecting for the landfilling, you should select the larger area, because as the population is growing in condition, so we have usually the increasing graph for considering the population. When the population increases, then obviously the waste generation is also going to increase. So to get all the waste into that site, you should consider the larger area for landfilling. And site access, and access should be easy. Okay, it should be easy, so that one village waste should not be filled in another village. Okay, so like that, they should not be far away. It should be within the city or within the village. If you are constructing the landfill for the particular city, and that should be present within that city only, that is site access. Soil conditions and topography. So you should consider the soil condition like a permeability. If the soil is too permeable, then what happens? The leachate will percolate easily and the soil pollution will occur. So the permeability of the soil should be tested. And topography is the terrain condition. Rocky or the soil condition, that is rocky strata, will be good, but it is difficult to construct the landfills in that type of a location. So topography should be considered. Climatological conditions. Climatological conditions is rainfall intensity, temperature, so and humidity of the particular area, that should be considered in climatological conditions. Surface water hydrology. So near to that landfill site which you are selecting, no surface water source should be present, like rivers, ponds, that should not be present, because if that is present, then the leachate which is producing from this site may percolate and pollute that surface water. So to avoid this, the surface water hydrology should be studied, and no surface water should present near to this landfill site. Next is geological and hydrological condition. Geological condition is, that is what you should consider faults, or wherever the faults will come, and the rocky strata, that should be considered. So area contains more of the faults should be avoided, because that faults are the weakest points and may percolate the gas and the leachate to the underground water. Hydrological conditions, in the sense water table. You should consider the water table. So wherever the water table is near, then that site should be avoidable. And existing land use pattern. Existing land use pattern means surrounding area for which it is used. For example, the landfilling is provided near to the agricultural area. Then agriculture area may get pollute because the soil may get pollute. So for what all purpose that site and the nearest site is used, that should be studied. That is existing land use pattern. And local environmental condition. If you are going to construct, or if you are going to construct a landfill particular site, then what is the environmental conditions? Like environmental conditions, like what will be the air quality, what will be the water quality, okay, that should be studied. And potential ultimate use for the completed site. So once you complete the construction of that landfills, and how much quantity or how much percentage the people may use this landfill, the ultimate use of that landfill site. So if it is useful, then you go for that. Or if the people are not coming to dump their waste, then why to construct that landfill? So the ultimate use, or what is the use of that landfilling for the particular city, that should also be considered in this point. Okay, so the site selection is 10 marks question. All of you write this and also explain this. So whatever the PDF notes I have given, I have written all these points. So explanation, you go through that notes. Okay, so next class will study the what are the reactions occurring in the landfills. Thank you.